And now for something completely different. Shaun White is in the news again.
He didn't molest anyone, though.
Not for molestation and not for poop porn.
Poop porn?
Yeah, that was the thing. He was like sending
poop porn to the bass player.
Bass player in his band or some shit.
Didn't he also rub his nuts on her head or something?
I don't know. He's
Whatever.
A weird guy.
He's fucking awkward.
And this is going to come as a shock to most of you that know anything about us and our opinions of Shaun White.
Because they believe that we just hate Shaun White.
Yeah, and we don't. He's
just not a snowboarder.
He's just not a snowboarder. We're going to back him up on this little news story.
Yeah.
Oakley has... So his contract was up...
right before the Olympics.
Yeah, 2017, December 31st, 2017. That's when his contract was up. So at that point, they were no longer allowed to use his likeness...
To sell their product.
To sell their product unless they paid him extra for that. And they had to pay him for it. And at that point, they weren't paying him anymore. And he was no longer under contract. So they kept doing it. And so he's now suing them for using his image to sell stuff. It was at the Olympics.
It was at the Olympics, yeah.
Yeah, at the Olympics and in sunglass huts.
Yep.
We back him on this one.
I mean,
yeah, they fucked up.
It's rightfully so. Like you're using his image and likeness to move a product that he's not endorsing. He's not being paid to endorse it. Yep. He's not choosing to endorse it. Mm-hmm. You're literally you're making money off of his name, arguably the largest name in competitive male snowboarding ever.
Yep.
And on an Olympic year that he competed in, mm-hmm. so that you can move your product. And the funny thing is, during an Olympic year, all the riders have to drop their sponsors during the Olympics and stuff. So technically he wouldn't have even been sponsored by him. And they might be able to argue that. I'm not a lawyer, but I doubt it because they're using his image to move a product. Mm-hmm. And, it's bullshit. Like, that would be... I've seen people try to say that I was endorsing their products because I did a review of it.
Right.
Well, the review wasn't even favorable of the product. Like, I'm not endorsing it. I'm just saying it's a fucking piece of shit. And I had to be like, but the funny thing was they would link the review, and I was like, oh, people are going to fucking love this one. And they'd be like, so? And I was like, oh, yeah, nope, don't, turd. Mm-hmm. But I hope he makes a couple million. I hope he fucking takes Luxottica to the cleaner on this and just fucking cleans house. Like, it's not that he needs the money. And it's bullshit that they used his likeness to it.
No, they just shouldn't get away with it, regardless of who they did it to.
No, it's kind of like when people steal photographers' photographs and do that. That happened to me with this shit-ass little company. I had shot some photos of a local rider, Alex Martin, who's a friend of mine, and there was one really good black and white that we just absolutely loved, and we gave that to Niche Snowboards. And we waited for them to post it, and they posted it. Then they put it up on their social media. This company, it's out of business. They were called Straight G Industries, and they sucked dicks with their butthole. They straight up took it and put it up, and we're using this photo because Alex had their face mask on. He didn't have a contract with them or something. He had like a face mask or something on. And I hit him up, and I was like, yo, you owe me money for that. And they were like, no, we don't. And I was like... I basically just kept sending them invoices. And I was like, pay me. Every time you deny me, I just kept raising it by like another $100.
Yeah.
And finally, they ended up taking it down within like 48 hours. And I was just like, yep. And the funny thing was the owner was friends with he knew one of my friends. I wouldn't say they were friends. And he showed up, and he's like, he's trying to put me out of business. And my friend was like, well, you fucking took his image without paying him. He never sent you that. Well, it was here, and it was here. And it was like, doesn't matter. You're using it to move a product that he's not endorsing, the rider's not endorsing, and that you didn't pay Avron for that photo. And, it's the same concept in my mind to do that. But I think we're going to see a lot more people suing over likenesses being used, especially in the age of influencer marketing.
Oh, yeah.
But I think just be smart with it out there. Like, if you're endorsing a product, make sure that there is a finality in agreement in your contract. You do not want it in perpetuity. Like,
no.
That's the one. Couple of years and years and years ago, like when I first started Angry, I got approached by this guy that was he was a Silicon Valley entrepreneur and a venture capital guy, and he was going to remake Main Street through online shopping, and it was going to be like, it was like this. It's essentially what Amazon does with Amazon storefronts, and what he wanted to do was take it was influencer marketing before it was influencer, but he wanted me to basically pick my products. They would sell it on the storefront. I'd get a commission through it. They'd use all my image and stuff. And I was like, cool, send me your contract. It was kind of interesting. And it was the most vague, like it wasn't written by a lawyer. And I sent it to my uncle. I have 7 lawyers in my family, so I always laugh when people threaten to sue me. And I sent it to my uncle, and I was like, look at this. And he's like, this is bullshit. Like, they essentially would end up owning my name. So they would own the name and image to Avery Lefebvre, the name and image to Angrysnowboarder, and they had a clause in there that they would actually end up owning my domain name.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I just responded back with, nah, that's a hard pass. And it never went anywhere, but like I saw people that had ended up using it, and like a whole shitload of like mommy bloggers and shit got their stuff taken from them. And I was like, sucks to suck. You got to do that. But the words in perpetuity, that's the ones you want to watch out for.
Yep.
Because that's the one that's going to bite you in the ass, unless it's an agreement for a royalty in perpetuity.
Yeah, that's great.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, if the in perpetuity is in your benefit, then go for it.
Go for it. But if it's not, don't do it. I really hope Shaun comes out ahead on this. Yep. I really do.
Same.
And I think it'll be a learning lesson for whoever was managing at Oakley.
Yep.
That should have been.
Yeah, the marketing director is going to have some heat or just be fired in general.
Probably be fired.
Yeah.
Not sure who that is. I think I know who it is, though. But whatever. I mean, I like Oakley goggles. Don't get me wrong. I think they're fucking phenomenal. But I don't like the Oakley price tag. But
yeah, their price tag's inflated for sure.